am I? I am Isabella Hellison, and this is my cultural background. So I am half Irish and half Viking. Growing up, my father, who I got the Irish from, did not like talking about his culture due to the negative connotations between their culture and alcohol. And my dad is very against alcohol and drinking. So my mom took over the role of teaching us about both sides. And even though my dad is Irish, my mom's family actually owns a castle in Ireland, and I was named after an Irish princess. We also made sure to celebrate a lot of cultural holidays and had traditional meals. I remember the biggest one being St. Patrick's Day because it was the most fun. We made leprechaun traps and we'd eat corned beef and cabbage for dinner. And then we would also celebrate many Catholic holidays, even though we were Christian, to get in the Irish heritage. And my mom made it a value to teach us about our history as well as how we came to be and like how we got here, for both sides, and also taught us a lot about our Viking background. I remember the Irish a lot more just because there was more and it was a lot more fun. So my family traditions. My family is pretty amazing. We are all extremely close and do everything together. With that being said, that means we have a lot of weird little traditions. My favorite is every Saturday, my whole family meets up for dinner and we either rent boxing matches or fights or whatever is happening. And we all eat dinner and hang out, and it's super fun. And my whole family goes. That is a newer tradition. We've been doing it for about 5 years now, but it's always my favorite. And then on Sundays, one of my cousins or I typically would have a sports game. And so my whole family makes sure and splits their time up between going to all the cousins' games. And then we all meet up at my grandma's house for dinner. And it's like a big celebratory dinner, no matter if we win or if we lose. And it's just nice to get in that family time. Who I look like? So my friends would probably say I look most like my mom and my grandma. We all have curly hair and the same smile, and we all have similar mannerisms and body language. A weird thing I got from a family member is I got my grandma's feet, so we both have a curled pinky toe as well as a tiny pinky toenail. I also look a lot like my father. I have his nose, his eyes, and again, the same personality traits. Although my whole family looks pretty similar, I think the person that my parents would say I look most like, and I personally think I look most like, is my aunt. It's my mom's little sister, and she's only a few years older than me, and we look like we could be twins. And so my family commonly gets us mixed up, and it's just super funny. So my school life. My elementary school experience was very good. My mom was a class mom, and that created a lot of strong relationships with my teachers. I never had many friends, and I was never popular, but I always had a few close friends, and those were friends up until middle school or high school. In high school, I had a lot of close friends. Unfortunately, they all seemed to move. One was an exchange student, and she left back to Sweden. I still talk to her every day, and I love her dearly. And then my best friend from 3rd grade ended up not being a good friend, so that was really hard. It was a big part of my high school experience. And then my other two, one is still my best friend, and he lives here, and he's actually in this class. And then my other best friend from birth, who was like my sister, ended up moving to Georgia. So later on in high school, I was in an abusive relationship that lasted from middle school till almost the end of high school, and it caused me to lose a lot of my friends. I also had never been into drinking or smoking, and I didn't like parties because I had social anxiety, so I got bullied quite a bit for that. Adults in my school life. So my mom remained very involved in my school life, even though she was no longer class mom. But I was really close with all my teachers in school because I never really got along with the kids, or the kids didn't like me. More specifically, my English teacher. So I actually texted her and asked how she saw me. And she said at first I was really hard to crack, and that once she did, she realized how much I had been through. but she admires how much confidence I gained from these situations and all of the pain people caused. She said I was sassy and confident and that I was very determined. And when I knew something I wanted, I wouldn't let anything stop me from getting it. These are my self-portraits. I'm not very good at art. I just tried to copy 2 pictures that my mom said were her favorites. And I mixed 3 different colors of crayons together. I mixed together peach, vanilla raspberry, and cream. This is my family portrait, so this is what I would consider my immediate family. We see each other every day, if not at least twice a week, at least before the pandemic happened. So it's my aunts and uncles and a few of my cousins that live here still, and then my parents, as well as my grandparents and great uncle. Here's a poem I wrote about my skin tone. My skin is white, but my skin does not define me, yet people assume they know all about me. They do not know I am half Irish and half Viking, basic, materialistic, annoying, slutty. These are all assumptions made against me for my skin tone. They do not know what is under my skin. They do not know the pain I felt watching George Floyd's death. They do not know the hope I felt hearing everybody scream Breonna Taylor's name. They do not know the comfort I get from reading Maya Angelou. They do not know about the inner struggles I face. They do not know about the guilt I feel because of my skin color. Because of my skin color, people assume I'm racist. I feel guilt for being white. I recognize my privilege. I recognize I am not the minority. I recognize that we all must work together to create a safe society for all people. I do not fear for my life. I am comfortable calling the police for help. I do not have to be separated from my family, and it makes me sad that there are people that do. All these different bodies and different tones of skin, skin like a blanket hiding our gifts on Christmas Eve. Secrets parallel to gifts, also different in the art of being human, but yet equally beautiful. So these are my hands. I use my hands for a lot of things. I use my hands to love myself, to feed myself, to get dressed in the morning, and to do my makeup. Makeup's something I'm passionate about, and I use my hands a lot for it. I use my hands to do homework, to love my family. I don't think there's anything more comforting in the world than somebody holding your hand when you're going through something really big or hard. I use my hands to comfort friends. And another really important one is to love the environment. I love planting and growing all kinds of different plants and flowers and fruits and vegetables. And I think it is so cool that we have that much power in our hands that we can really love everything from our friends to our family to ourselves to the environment. I also use my hands to care for children and to care for myself. I also talk with my hands a lot. So I use my hands to express love, to get out how I'm feeling. I use my hands to clap when I'm happy and wipe my tears away when I'm sad. And I also think it's really important that everybody realize that you kind of hold your own world in your hands, and everything that you consider important for your hands, like I just listed my things, is something important to the world. So love, compassion, and growth are all things the world needs a little bit more of. And yeah, that's me.